Alright, I'm gonna be showing you the pre-workout meals that helped me lose over 20 pounds and get lean and shredded right before summer. And this is just gonna be like a guide or a reference for you to follow, but this is exactly what just worked for me. So just take this with a grain of salt. It may not or may work for you. So, but I mean, science is science, so this should work for you too. So take some inspiration. You can see these photos right here. This is proof that I was literally overweight like in January, and this is me now. This is May of 2025, and then before was January of 2025. I thought I looked good, but I looked like crap. So I just wanted to show you exactly what's worked for me because I know how it feels to be in that situation where like you've been lifting for so long, but you just look like crap. You just look like crap. You don't look like you lift. I didn't look like I lifted at all. I didn't look like I lifted a single dumbbell in my life. So it was very painful when I took that video and I literally played it back and I was like, there's no way that's me. I put all this effort, I put all this bulking, and I look like this? Like, it was crazy. So I'm going to be showing you, and I literally documented all of my meals on my stories, and I still do it on my stories on my Instagram. But this is all the meals I had before. You can see, like, let's see right here. Let's see January, March, let's see, February, January. This is literally everything that I ate consistently, but with the right amount of foods. I was already kind of eating healthy before, but I didn't know exactly how much to eat, and I kind of was clueless on like what I should eat before workouts. You know, before I already know what to eat after workouts, but before workouts, I was like, what exactly do I eat? Do I just eat cereal? Do I eat carbs? Okay, carbs are energy, but what kind of carbs? Is complex? There's really sugary carbs? Which carbs should I eat? Okay, so this is going to be like your reference, your guide to what's worked for me, whether that's 5 hours before your workout, 3 hours before, hour and a half, like I'll show you right here. So I'm going to be going over 5 hours before, 3 hours before, 1.5 hours before, and 45 minutes before, right? Before the workout. This is what I would eat if I were to start over again. I mean, I already did it, but that makes no sense. Anyways, so we're going to be going over the 5 hour mark, right? So the 5 hour mark, I would eat like something heavy during this time because one, you have time, and two, most of these meals you have, most of them are going to be slow digesting, so you can have more freedom to eat whatever you want 5 hours before the workout because you're going to be full, right? You're going to be probably like going to the toilet after or before the workout, so it'll be perfect timing. So I would have a breakfast burrito, breakfast bagels, protein pancakes, pasta, ground beef with eggs and vegetables with rice, and then 2 eggs with potato and avocado. This is just what I had. Okay, so you can have more slow digesting protein, slow digesting carbs. You can have slow digesting foods at this time frame, right? You have more freedom, right? So you got the time, so you can eat a full meal and your body will break it down, store it, and have it ready when you hit the gym. So the reason why it works, I kind of went over it already, but it's plenty of time to digest. Carbs and protein take quite some time to digest, especially protein. Protein takes quite some time to digest, and slow digesting carbs like bread, tortilla, whole wheat bread, white bread, pasta, especially pasta, it takes a while. So you can have more freedom when you know you're going to work out at a specific time, and so you can have all these foods, right? And so you're loaded up and ready to perform when it's time to hit the gym. So I tend to eat like a great amount of protein at this time as it will digest enough before the workout, and so slow digesting carbs can also help me keep full, and so I don't go hungry right before the workout, right? You want to eat something full, if you know that you're going to work out later, you want to eat something filling so that you're not hungry right before, and then now you're like, okay, now what do I eat, right? But I'll still be going over what you eat before the workout too. So that's the 5 hour mark. The 3 hour mark, this is when I would have similar meals to the 5 hour mark, except they're just lighter, right? So I would have the same eggs, turkey breast with the side of pancakes. Instead of having pancakes as like a full meal or eggs as a full meal with turkey breast or potato, I would just have eggs and turkey breast, something that's gonna be quite filling, and send some pancakes on the side. I only as a side, because you don't want to eat too much slow digesting stuff at this time. So you want to have like similar things, but just not too much of it, right? I would also have a turkey sandwich with a banana, and the sandwich would have eggs, turkey breast, oh, not turkey breast. Oh yeah, it is turkey breast, yeah, and white bread. So I would have a sandwich about 3 hours before. This is when I usually eat at the coffee shop. So that's when I was at the coffee shop. And so I'm like at the coffee shop at around 7. And so I would work out like around 10, 3 hour work block right there. And then I would also have overnight oats, like whether I'm at home and I need something quick in the morning, I would make overnight oats the night before. And then in the morning, when I know I'm going to work out later, I would just sit on my desk and I would eat the oats right there. You see me sitting on my desk right there in that picture. So I would eat those overnight oats, as they're not too fast, but it's going to be keep me a little bit full, right? In the meantime, before the workout. And I would also have healthy fats like avocado. So I would have like eggs, potato, and half an avocado. I wouldn't follow this picture right here. Don't eat a full avocado. Just eat half about. You can eat a full one like 5 hours before, but eat half before 3 hours before the workout, because avocado is fats, so fats take a little bit longer to digest. So you want to have like just minimal stuff here. And then also, I would take this with a grain of salt. You can have a toast with peanut butter and banana. You can have this 3 hours before or 1.5 hours before, as it has banana, great for carbs, toast, slower digesting, and peanut butter, healthy fats not too much of it, of course, healthy fat, and that will help you keep full before the workout, right? Healthy fats are great for that. So again, similar to 5 hours before, just lighter servings, right? You're not starving, but you want to stay fuel. And this meal is like topping off your gas tank before a long drive, right? So it's enough time to digest and a moderate meal. It keeps your blood sugar steady, right? And you won't crash mid-set or feel heavy. Like, these are all light stuff that you want to have 3 hours before. And I'm not saying you should eat something 5 hours before and then eat this 3 hours before. No. Don't mix the two. Don't add them together. It's just, if you know you don't have much time, like 3 hours before, you should eat this. But if you already had a meal like 5 hours before the workout, and then you want to eat a meal 3 hours before the workout, don't do that. That's going to take even longer to digest. So don't like combine the two. I don't want you to make that mistake, right? So these didn't take too long to digest, but they weren't too fast to the point where I was hungry right before the workout, right? You don't want to be hungry right before, which is why you can have similar foods to the 5 hour mark. It's just not too much of it. All right. So let's go to the 1.5 hours. 1.5 hours before the workout. And so this is like kind of the trickiest part, right? It's like, it's kind of far away from the workout, but it's not really, because you have to get going like in about an hour. So this is what I would have. Again, I would have the toast with peanut butter and banana. I accidentally had this as a post-workout thing. You shouldn't have it as a post-workout the other day. But I would have one toast with a tablespoon of peanut butter and one banana on top. Probably half a banana, if I'm being honest. But it depends on your macros and your calories of what you got to eat. And so I would also have a light protein shake. So this could be 1 banana, cup of milk, protein powder, and half cup of oats. So this is great. It has oats, great for carbs. Protein powder, still filling, but not to the point where it's like it's gonna take a long time, because it's powder, so it's not gonna take too long to digest. Milk is great for calcium and protein, and banana is great for carbs. So it's all together, blend it up, you get a nice tasty shake right before the workout, or not right before, but an hour and a half before the workout. And cereal, I wouldn't have this too often, right? I didn't do this too often, but if it works for you, based on how much time you have and how you do your workouts, you can have cereal, right? So you might be surprised, but Rice Krispies, cornflakes, Cheerios, Honey Nut Cheerios, they're my favorite. Those Honey Nut ones, they're pretty good. Cinnamon Toast Crunch, all time my favorite. Special K, I wouldn't have that too much, but Honey Nut Cheerios, oh, right there, I put Honey Nut Cheerios too. So these are a couple cereals that I would personally get if I were to have cereal like before the workout, right? But the ones you want to avoid, not all cereals the same, right? You want to avoid granola cereals because they have fat and fiber in it. And Raisin Bran cereal, high fiber, slow to digest. And have this is only before workouts. If you want to have these cereals, the ones with the X on the top and the bottom, you can have those cereals if you want to stay full for longer. Okay, they're not bad. Okay, I don't want you to make that mistake. The cereals I'm telling you not to eat before a workout, they're not bad. It's just before a workout, they're slower digesting. And so you don't want to be like having a full stomach, right? You want to have energy. You want everything to process fast so you can have energy before the workout. Okay, but if your goal is to cut, and you just need like something to keep you full, you need something for the long term, these cereals are great. Granola cereal, Raisin Bran, cereals with nuts and seeds, and protein cereal. They're great for keeping you full. I'm just listing before the workout. Okay, before workouts, you need something a little bit faster to digest so that you can have that energy before. So again, cereals with nuts and seeds, any protein cereal, because protein, of course, as we know, takes longer to digest and also has fat in it too. So you don't want to fat and fiber. So the protein cereal is great, but before workout, not the ideal best thing to do. Okay, I wouldn't have that too often. Cereal, I wouldn't really eat cereal too much, but this is more closer to the lift. So you need something that hits quick but doesn't sit like a brick, right? So easy to digest carbs to give you quick energy, a bit of protein that helps you keep steady. I have we have the protein shake, so it's some protein right there, but mainly carbs from the banana and the oats. And then cereal is just plain carbs, fast carbs, because it's sugary. So as long as you use that sugar for the workout, then you should be fine, right? And you won't feel sluggish or too full too, right? These are going to be fast processing stuff, so that you're able to have that energy before the workout. So, but that's worked for me. If you tend to find something else that's worked for you, like, I don't know, like pre-workouts, powder, whatever. Again, this is just a guide. This is just a reference, but this is just like authentically what I did. Like I seriously documented all my stories, what I did, right? And so this zone was the trickiest for me because I tried not to have too much protein or fat as they were slow digesting, but I didn't want to have quick carbs to the point where, like, okay, now I'm hungry again an hour and a half later before the workout. That's the worst thing you can do, right? So that just worked for me. And then 45 minutes before, this is a little danger zone right here, right? So you want to have something really, really light. Let me just move this to the center because it's kind of bothering me. So let me just move this to the center. And yeah, I had fruits, rice cakes, electrolytes, and low-calorie energy drinks, right? So we have fruits. Fruits are my favorite, right? I post my fruits all the time. I eat a banana with a couple tangerines, like about 45 minutes, 30 minutes before the workout because they're pretty fast to digest. So you're about to move. You don't want to slow yourself down and you want to give your body fast carbs and just go, okay? Rice cakes, I wouldn't have this too often because I just not my preference, but it works a lot to a lot of people. So I've had it a couple times. Rice Krispies, you can get those Rice Krispies, drizzle some honey, and so maybe some peanut butter, just a little bit of peanut butter and a banana, and those are going to be great for fast carbs. Rice cakes, you easily digest them. And then electrolytes are a personal favorite of mine, especially when I have workouts in the morning, like at 6 a.m. Like today, I just hit legs today, and I had a workout at 6 in the morning, and I just had the electrolytes right before, and it was much better. Like if I didn't have that, I probably would have had the worst workout because it was really hard today. It was very hard. And so if I didn't even have the electrolytes or any energy before, it would have been even worse. I would have been really lightheaded, dizzy, and stuff. So I had that before. It was still hard, but it helped. It helped me. And low calorie drinks, honestly, I wouldn't drink this in the gym, right? I drink it in the gym because of just like kind of the vibe of it. Like, oh, I'm drinking an energy drink, I'm locked in, I'm trying to have all this energy. But scientifically, it doesn't make sense when you're drinking it while working out because then the caffeine's going to kick in later. And you don't want to kick in later. You want it to kick in now. So 45 minutes before to 30 minutes before, you want to at least start drinking maybe low-calorie energy drinks. Like I drink Ghost or C4 right here. As you can see, I'm at the gym, which doesn't make any sense, but it was just, I was lifting with my friend. It was just like kind of the vibe, okay? So that's what I would have before. Low-calorie energy drinks, I didn't have much, but fruits and electrolytes is the main go-tos that I used to be able to, have fuel before the workout, but I wasn't, too full. And so I didn't want to feel dizzy either, right? So just fast carbs, quick energy. That's what you want. No protein or fat because that's going to be slowing your digestive system. And you don't want anything digesting as you're trying to bench your PR or something like that, So you want to feel light, sharp, and ready to train as soon as you can. And so I would try to eat the lightest food. And like, also, yeah, keep in mind, don't make energy drinks a big habit, right? Only use it when you don't want to eat like at least anything. You don't want to eat anything and you just want energy though. Energy drinks are fine, but just try not to make it a big habit, right? It's just like last minute things, right? And avoid energy drinks before the bedtime. So if you're let's say you're working out like at 8 p.m. at night, I would avoid the energy drink as much as you can right? Or at least have the energy drink, like in this case 3 hours before, because you're gonna go to sleep. You're about to go to sleep, and so you don't want to have an energy drink at 7 p.m. and then you go to sleep at 10, right? So if you're working out at night, I would skip the energy drinks and just have like something like fruit or anything that's quick digesting, like rice cakes too. So that's gonna be something that you want to keep in mind. And no real fuel in these drinks, because they don't rely. You shouldn't rely on them, because it's just caffeine. It's just literally all caffeine, just tasty caffeine. And so it's not really fuel. It's just like a boost, right? So just keep that in mind when you do the energy drinks. But anything like fruits, rice cakes, electrolytes, great for before workouts, and they're quick to digest, right? And then you're able to hit your workout. So this is just what I would do, or this is what I did actually. This is what I did. I literally documented all my stories. You can see everything here again. The eggs, potato, turkey breasts with eggs and potato, the kiwi. Your kiwi is great. I forgot to put kiwi right before the workout in 45 minutes. Anyways, but you see avocado right here, overnight oats, shrimp. This is something for 5 hours before. This is something for, 5 hours to 3 hours before. This is something for 5 hours before. So yeah, I had all these meals, and I was able to, see what worked and what didn't. And I was able to even get stronger even while losing 20 pounds, right? So I hope this video inspired you to be able to, structure your meals well and see what works and see what didn't work. And if there's any questions that I didn't answer, then you can go ahead and just comment it or DM me on Instagram exactly what you should eat, because I understand this is like a broad, foods and food groups and stuff. So if there's something specific that you want to know, just shoot me a DM on Instagram. And if you always, of course, if you want to work one-on-one so we can structure your meals, structure everything that you got to do so that you can make this transformation in just about a couple months, then shoot me a DM on Instagram, and I'll see you in the next one.